and ratified in their parliaments. The goal is to producer of goods and services, exporters and importers conduct their business. It officially officially commenced operations on 1st January 1995, pursuant to the 1994 Marrakesh Agreement, thus replacing the Journal Agreement on Tariffs and Trade (GATT) that has that had been established in 1948. The World Trade Organization is the world's largest international economic organization with 164 member states representing over 96% of global trade and global GDP. In short, like in brief, WTO is the only international organization dealing with the global rules of trade. Its, its main function is to ensure that trade flows as smoothly, predictably, and freely as possible. This is the World Trade Organization, like what it, the who are the members, these states, the countries participating in World Trade Organization. So the green part, which is the members, like can you see the green part, the members of the members participating in WTO. The bluish part you can see, right? That is members duly represented by EU. EU is nothing but Union.
Union.
Uh, the bluish part is it is presented by the members presented by European Union. The yellow part, these are observers, and the red part is non-participant states, which the states which don't participate in WTO. History of the World Trade Organization. The World Trade Organization.
One second, Nitisha. Just
Yes, ma'am.
allow everybody to take a pic of that so that it is
Okay, ma'am.
easy for them
Okay.
to, yeah. First, all of you take this, okay, the world map, okay, the green part, blue part, very few red spots are there. That
Yes,
means
ma'am.
they are the non-participants. So it's very clear. See how you when you are writing also, you can very clearly state that the majority of the world nations are in tune with the World Trade Organization. I mean, improving the bilateral trade and also the export and import of goods and services from one country to the other. Okay, there are the various yellow, green, blue, and red patches are indicating these things. Okay, all of you take a pic of it, girls. And next slide, Nitisha.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So green are the member countries. That means one second. Put that. Yeah. Green are the member countries and members duly represented by the European Union. Okay. Next is observers who are observing. That means how there is a need and requirement for everybody. Observers are going to be the future participants into the world trade. And then the fourth one is a non-participant states. Very few are there. That means the world is going together with the World Trade Organization to ensure that goods and services are freely exported, imported, bilateral trade, bilateral transactions, and congenial atmosphere in the world is happening because of WTO. Okay, so just note down all this. We have maximum is green, so that is indicating that there are lots of members. Okay, and blue is duly represented by European Union. Third is observers. Fourth is non-participants. Okay, non-participants are very minimal. Yes, come on, Nitisha, carry on. Good.
Yes, ma'am. History of World Trade Organization. The WTO recused this word is nothing but which is something uh, 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 prepared before. Uh, Something which is made before the particular what should I say?
No, no. It is
Uh,
WTO, World Trade Organization, is a
uh,
precursor from GATT, that is
Before the
General.
WTO was organized, it was like Journal Agreement on Tariffs and Trade.
Yeah. Yes.
It was established by multilateral treaty of 23 countries in 1947 after the World War II. In the wake of other new multilateral institutes dedicated to international economic cooperation, such as the World Bank, founded in 1944, and the International Monetary Fund, founded in 1994 or 95, 1944 or 45, a comparable international institution for trade named the International Trade Organization never started as the US, and other signatories did not ratify the establishment treaty, and so GATT slowly became a
De,
facto
de
international
facto
de
international
facto international
organization.
organization.
Okay, this has become a part. This has become a different part of WTO. Once again, it has become the de facto international organization which was functioning. Okay, yeah, yeah. Continue,
Uh,
ma'am.
Functions, yeah, function. There are many functions, but these five are most important. The WTO shall facilitate the implementation, administration, and operation, and further the observe objectives of the agreement and the multilateral trade agreements, and shall also provide the framework for the implementation, administration, and operation for the multilateral trade agreements. The WTO shall provide the forum for negotiations among its members concerning their multilateral trade relations in matters dealt with under the agreement in the annexes of the agreement. The WTO shall administer to understanding on rules and procedures governing the state settlement of disputes. The WTO shall administer a trade policy review mechanism to achieve greater coherence in global economic policy making, and WTO shall cooperate as appropriate with the International Monetary Fund
Yes,
IMF.
Nitisha, it is cooperate. Okay, it is not corporate. It is
Cooperate, अच्छा
cooperate.
cooperate,
Yeah,
yes ma'am.
yeah.
IMF and with the International Bank of Reconstruction and Development IBRD and its affiliated agencies. Uh, those were the functions and the principles of the trading system. Principles of WTO. The WTO establishes a framework for trade policies. It does not define or specify outcomes. That is, it is concerned with setting the rules of trade policy. There are five principles are of particular importance in understanding both the pre-1994 GATT and the WTO. So those five are non-discrimination, reciprocity, binding and enforceable commitments, transparency, safety values.
Safety values. Yes, yes, Nitisha. So, why did this WTO? Why will a big organization come into existence? It's only to create a better platform for all the countries to perform on the world trade level. Okay, first is non-discrimination. It has not discriminated from country to country, and according to the geographical location and the demographic conditions of a particular economy, they have certain benefits and certain non-benefits out of various kinds of what is this called, natural kinds of situations which are according to the locations. So it is, you can produce excess. So when we have excess, we are in a position to reciprocate. We are able to say that we will produce excess and contribute to the other world countries. So that's why what the WTO has done, it has adopted a policy called non-discrimination. That means any country can come and trade on the world platform. Reciprocity, okay, you can reciprocate, you can try to sell this product and we can reciprocate with a different product to a different country. Binding and enforceable commitments, there is a binding between economy to economy, and enforceable, all these can get enforced because all these are possible on a particular platform. Transparency, but with the transparency what happens, everybody is comfortable, all small nations to the big nations, everybody can try to participate. Safety values, so one biggest problem with the international business is the safety. We don't know our consumer, we don't know our producer, we don't know with what kind of legal rules we are acting on a world platform. That's why this World Trade Organization is going to protect the individuals with respect to the safety values in all these kinds of situations. Okay, yes, continue, Nitisha. Yeah. Continue,
This
Nitisha.
authority,
Yeah.
yes, ma'am. Organizational structure. The highest authority of the WTO is Ministerial Conference, which, which must meet at least every 2 years. In between each ministerial conference, the meeting is handled by three bodies whose membership is the same. They only differ by the terms referred under which each body is constituted. The first body is the General Council, the Dispute Settlement Body, the Policy Review Body. The General Council UK as 2020 Docker of New York. The following subsidiary bodies oversee committees in different areas.
Yes, girls, the voice is not clear because of some technical issue. So all of you read the content which is there, you will be able to understand. And also, Nitisha, place it in the classroom so that all of them can take the benefit out of it. Yeah,
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
yeah. Next, go to the next slide. Yeah.
Okay. So this is the picture where the conference have been held. The World Trade Organization Ministerial Conference of 1998 in Palace of Nations, Geneva, Switzerland. This is the place where conference have been held in 1998. The 20th Ministerial Conference, which is MC12, was due to be held in Nur Sultan, Kazakhstan in June 2020, but was cancelled because of pandemic COVID-19. Agreements. The WTO oversees about 60 different agreements which have the status of international legal texts. Member countries must sign and ratify all WTO agreements on taxation. There are so many agreements, so these are few important ones. Agreement on agriculture, general agreement on trade and service, agreement on trade related aspect of agreement on application of sanitary and photos, phytosanitary measures, agreement on technical barriers to trade, agreement on custom valuation. In December 2013, the biggest agreement within the WTO was signed and known as Bali Package. Office of Director General, the procedures for the appointment of WTO Director General were updated in January 2003 and individual quadrennial terms. Additionally, there are four Deputy Director General
Not
as of
necessary,
30.
not necessary, Disha. We can remember that
Okay,
the WTO will have director generals from different countries
okay,
and they represent the various kinds of duties with regard to the WTO proceedings. Okay, that much is
okay,
enough. Not necessary that we have to remember these names. Okay, these are always
okay.
changing. Yeah. Okay, go to the next slide now. Yeah.
The list of direct general from like
Yeah. So we
from
can also
starting.
say that the WTO platform has got list of directors across the from the member countries. Okay, they represent their respective countries. Why should they represent? Because they have to take the benefit of WTO to their own country, and also they have to initiate the exports and imports of that particular their own mother nation onto the world platform. That's the reason why they represent the WTO on the bigger platform. Yes, yes. Next.
Budget. The WTO derives most of the income for its annual budget from contribution by its members. These are established according to a formula based on their share of international trade. So this is a picture where states have contributed. 2019 top 10 members contributed to budget of WTO. Uh, top contributing states include China, Japan, Sudan. This CHF is nothing but the unofficial currency of Switzerland.
Okay. Okay, Ken. Go for the next
Okay.
slide. Yeah.
Done, ma'am.
Yes.
Done, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. So, Nitisha, frankly speaking, you should be more happy that you have done a presentation, okay, which was not
Yes.
sounding in your voice. Yes, take the credit of doing something. And let me tell you, this is the first of your kind, your presentation in this class, okay? I will definitely appreciate you with a at least cheering you with claps. Okay, the first
Thank
and
you,
the
ma'am. Thank you so
only
much.
girl who has done. Okay, so you can have lot of enthusiasm and speak, Nitisha. You have done a good job. Okay, these are something which you have taken from the textual. It's WT is not our imagination. It is something which is already there in the books. We have to take the content from there only and try to substantiate. Yes, good.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. And you have, Nitisha, I have given you marks for your presentation today, and all others also for the class activity which we already conducted. That is the reading part, what we have, all of you have done. I gave you marks. That for that I give only 1 mark. Okay, for presentation of this order, okay, I'll give 5 marks. That is how I am calculating as of now. Okay, but I'll scale it down if there are some more things which I have to include. So all those girls who have not done anything, please remember, none of you have done for that matter. D section is not at all participating in the class activities. If you don't participate, you won't be getting any marks for all these things, girls. Please remember. I want all of you to participate. Only then I can give you some marks on this area.
Ma'am,
Right? Yeah. Soumya,
ma'am, can I give my presentation?
are you also ready? Chal.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you can
A
give.
case study on international business, ma'am.
Important, important. Please do. Okay. There is so much on international business, girls. Don't have to take the textbook content and don't take anything from the syllabus also. The syllabus is my job. I don't want you to touch that. You can take up any topic under the business area for the international business. And also, not only this, because I don't have so much of time right now. We are already into the month of October right now. So, if you are doing anything, present a 2-minute video, post it to me, specifying your class, the topic, and the lecturer, and then you are in R19 batch. Okay, I'm so and so from R19 batch, and this is my subject of international business, and I'm giving my presentation. My faculty is Miss P Bharathi. If you can tell that much, and you start your presentation, it's wonderful. I will accept it. Okay, please understand. Yes.
Ma'am, can I start, ma'am?
Yeah, Soumya,
Is
start.
my screen visible,
Yeah,
ma'am?
yeah, absolutely. Come on.
Okay, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am, and my dear friends. Myself, Soumya. I'm here to give a small presentation on the case study of international business. First, let us know what is meant by international business. International business refers to trade of goods and services, technology, capital, and knowledge across national borders and at a global or transactional scale. Now let us know the actual case study of Coca-Cola, a soft drink. This company had faced few problems in its journey to success. Now let us see how it got recovered from its mistakes. Coca-Cola mistakes and learning. Coca-Cola in international market. Coca-Cola was created in 1886 by John Pemberton, a pharmacist in Atlanta, Georgia. The formula of Coca-Cola changed hands 3 more times before Asa D. Candler added carbonation. Coca-Cola was registered as a trademark in 1887 and by 1895 was being sold in every state and territory in the United States. By 2003, Coca-Cola generated more than 70% of its income outside the United States. Interbrand's Global Brand Scorecard for 2003 ranked Coca-Cola the number one brand in the world and estimated its brand value at $70.45 billion. It operates in more than 200 countries and market more than 3,000 beverage products. India and its culture on Coca-Cola. India's 1 billion people, growing middle class, and low per capita consumption of soft drinks. 10% of India's population lived in urban areas and drank 10 bottles of soda per year. Coke launched a small bottle priced at almost 50% of the traditional package. Coke from scratch. Coca-Cola was the first international soft drinks brand to enter in India in early 1970s. In 1977, government forced Coca-Cola to reveal its secret formula and reduce its equity stake under the FERA. Soft drink sale in India grew 76% between 1998 and 2002. Coca-Cola rebooted its operation by liberalization policy. In 1993, Coca-Cola returned back to India. By the end of 1993, a deal that gave Coca-Cola ownership of the nation's top soft drink brand and bottling network. With the acquisition of major brands in India, it went on to be known as the Hindustan Coca-Cola Beverages Private Limited. Multinational corporations' arrogance on Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola acquired most of the local Indian brands, including Thums Up, Limca, Maaza, Citra, and Gold Spot. As a result, it ranked 42 in the brand equity most trusted brands listing, much lower than Thums Up's 34th rank. Promoting local drinks like Aam Panna, Jaljeera. Coke versus local brands. Coke's acquisition of local popular Indian brands including Thums Up, Limca, Maaza, Citra, and Gold Spot. In 2000 and 2001, the company launched the Kinley water brand and Shock energy drink respectively. The company has 3 business regions and operates out of 22 locations across India. Coke with other products, Coca-Cola and other Indian brands. The gradual improvements of Coca-Cola, it got encouraged by its 2002 performance. Coca-Cola India announced plans to double its capacity. Coca-Cola India had won the prestigious World of Cup. The complete manufacturing process had a documented quality control and assurance program including over 400 tests performed throughout the process. Coca-Cola touching Indian hearts with some slogans. Life ho to aisi, Tanda matlab Coca-Cola. Above are some taglines which Coca-Cola used to grab the Indian market and to attract people irrespective of their income. The whole summary of this case study is globalization. Globalization is nothing but the process by which the business or other organizations develop international influence or start operating on an international scale. The arrogant nature of the HR manager, negative attitude towards Indian soft drink brands, learned from its mistakes and launched its product as per the Indian taste. Thank you, ma'am.
Very nice. Very nice presentation, Soumya. Yeah. Okay. It
Thank
has
you, ma'am.
become everybody. It has become fancy to drink all these kind of soft beverages, isn't it? So this has become the order of the day, and now many of us have realized that it is not ideal to go for such kind of products at all. And also, with more awareness, we need to understand what kind of a product are we trying to promote, and is it really genuine enough to interfere in such kind of products which are going to be hazardous also to a larger extent to our health. Okay, and taking this kind of a case study, you can also look down or dive into our own kind of prospects with the local brands, which we can bring it to the international platform. Okay, what kind of marketing kind of strategies you can adopt to see that you also become part of international business, but slowly, okay, inch by inch. If you are trying to think in that direction, coming for another few years, you will be able to establish you or yourself also trying to do something in bit of international business. Okay, yes. Are there any more girls? No? Yes. Maliha, what happened to you, Maliha? I've been not seeing you for quite some time in the classes. What was gone
Yes,
wrong?
ma'am. Actually, I was having flu for a week. Like the day you messaged me about the video, actually, I was supposed to record, but my voice changed, and
No
then
problem.
I had a flu, and with exams upon top of that, that week was very
Hectic.
difficult and hectic.
Okay, okay, no problem. That's
Actually, I'm almost done with my presentation on this global business. I just have to do a few more slides, so I'll be done by tomorrow. So I'll give my presentation tomorrow.
you can also take the slideshow and also do a small video recording also and send it to Maliha, not a problem. Okay,
Okay,
because
ma'am.
I
Thank you.
might not be having so much time in the class. I'll allow one or two girls, but if you feel you can do it in a video presentation, video format, do it like that also. That will become permanent into records. Okay,
Okay, ma'am.
yes. In fact, I wanted you to be a part of ED event, but I thought there should be
Yes,
something
ma'am.
which was
I missed
bothering.
it. I
No
saw the
problem.
messages. It was so good. Like I asked a few girls, and they were like, "You missed it. It was very,
Yes,
very good, and
yes,
that's like a
because
very
you
big regret."
yes, you were the first girl to come forward to do something, but unfortunately you were not well at the right time. No problem.
Yes.
Better opportunities next time. Not a problem. Okay, take
Thank
care.
you. Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Okay,
Thank
that's
you so much, and sorry
yeah.
about that,
No
ma'am.
problem. No problem. Okay. So girls, we have finished with all these areas, girls. So all this on the 7th September we have completed all this. I'll just go down. Okay, and these are the extra notes which I also gave you into your classroom. And now we have also finished with the WTO. Okay, with one more uh, then what is that called, seminar or a webinar on this also. We finished this. Now I also wanted this question for all of you: what is WTO? And all of you have a clear idea now, because Nitisha has already given a presentation. All of us know what is WTO, isn't it? It's a clear idea now. Okay, next is International Monetary Fund, World Bank. What do we mean by International Monetary Fund or the World Bank? What are these platforms doing? So when the world is encouraging people to go for international trade and international business, what kind of platforms are there which are able to enable people to work on these international levels, and what kind of precautions, what kind of rules and regulations, what kind of benefits for the world countries, which if they are performing in the international trade? These are all very important. Okay, so World Trade Organization is enabling the trade. IMF or International Monetary Fund is enabling financial activities on these platforms. Okay, what is the difference between World Bank Group or World Trade Organization and also the IMF? It is founded by Bretton Woods Conference in 1944. The two institutions have complementary missions. The World Bank Group, founded in the Britain, is with the developing countries to reduce poverty and increase share of prosperity. Okay, the ultimate aim of any organization or an institution is only to see that the unevenly distributed resources on this world, or in this geographical or a demographic platforms in this world, are supposed to be uniformly distributed to the world nations. Okay, no country can have all kinds of benefits because of their location, or because of their population, or because of their civilization. There are various kinds of things which interfere with our prosperity. So the World Bank Group is working towards reducing poverty and increasing share of prosperity among the world nations. And this by the World International Monetary Fund serves to stabilize the international monetary system and acts as a monitor for the world's currencies. Okay, so when we are working on an uniform platform, there is something called a uniform currency through which every transaction can be measured. The World Bank Group provides financing, financial advice and technical assistance to the governments. First, anything like, finance is the lifeblood for any work, any kind of an activity. That means we are supposed to have financial viability if we want to perform on the world scale at large. And next is policy advices. When we want to do something, we have an ambition to do, we have a motivation, we have an idea in our brain, but we don't know how to execute it. That's where these webinars, even the ED activity, all these things comes into our place. Same way, even a biggest kind of a personality who wants to be an entrepreneur is also not in a position to understand every kind of detail in the trade aspect. That's why there is a policy advice and also technical assistance, because everybody, all of us are deficient in some area and deficient in some other areas. Okay, so by this what will happen? It's nothing but we are good at resources, we are good at kind of natural resources and also the climatic conditions, but we don't have the technology with which we are able to churn out number of products or magnitude of our business. We cannot do. Then we have to depend on a country which is able to provide us technical assistance on these matters. So it is very important to see that there is a collaborative effort from the world nations in order to ensure that all the resources which are scattered across the globe are put to a better utilization for reducing the poverty and also increasing the prosperity in the world nations. That's where this particular international business is going to be a better assistance to the entire communities at every area at large. And also it focuses on strengthening the private sector in developing countries. Okay, why strengthening private sector? Because in every economy there is a section called rich, and if this section of well-to-do or rich class is encouraged to enter into the main segments of an economy and produce or do something for in the capital investment form, that is going to enable the world countries to develop at a faster rate. Development in all countries becomes faster only if we have this kind of a involvement of the private sector in the developing countries. Okay, so most of the times we do not appreciate the capitalists, but please do remember, girls, capitalists are the ones who have promoted, who have enabled, who have contributed their blood and sweat in order to see that the benefits for the world has taken in time. Okay, these benefits are something we cannot say that I don't like capitalists. Okay, if a rich person has not invested his real worth into the economy, there wouldn't have been this kind of a progress which we are all enjoying today. So there is every need and requirement to see that these developing countries are taking the assistance from the private sector, and the International Monetary Fund keeps track of the economies globally and in member countries. Okay, so it is nothing but International Monetary Fund also has got member countries. These member countries, some of them have their resources which they try to present it in the international platform, and there are some countries which are deprived of some benefits. Okay, it is like a banking institution only, where the primary function of a bank is to take the money from the persons or the customers who are having more money and giving it to the persons who are not having. By this, there is a facilitation of business activity which can happen. Okay, because I always tell you, just as all five fingers are not the same size and length or shape or their I mean, what is this called, efficiency, same way even the countries in this world are having different kinds of talents, different kinds of energies and resources which are prevalent in their world, I mean, in their particular geographical region. And if they benefit out of that, and if they extend the benefits to the world countries, parallelly the same thing happens to them, and mutual benefit keeps happening in the world nations. And next is, it lends to countries with balance of payment difficulties. Okay, so what does that mean? It's nothing but the countries, some countries are deprived of finance, some countries are deprived of resources, some countries are deprived of climatic conditions, some countries are deprived of technology. So all these practically approach their, I mean, different member countries, and the IMF is able to create a platform for all the countries to benefit mutually. Countries must join the IMF to be eligible to join the World Bank group. Today, each institution has 189 countries. So that means World Bank group or the IMF has got 189 countries who are called the member countries, who are benefited because of the largest sources of funding and the knowledge which is there in the developing, I mean, which are spread to the developing countries. So these are only to ensure that, I mean, removal of poverty or reduction of poverty, increasing of profitability, and also sustainable development in the entire world countries. So with this we can say that IMF and the World Trade Organization WTO, GATT, all these are nothing but they are in a position to help the world nations to prosper uniformly. Why do we need uniformity of prosperity, girls? Do we, can we appreciate that there is a I mean, poverty in one region and we can say that the world is going to prosper? Is it going to help the other countries if there is any kind of a poverty at one corner of the world? Is it possible for the growth or development? Yes, girls. Do we need to help the poorer countries? Has the world got the need
Yes.
and requirement to help the poor countries? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, at the macro level, the world has to help the poor countries. At the micro level, we also have to help the poor people. Okay, why? Because if these things are not possible, then it's going to reframe the world, or it's going to pull down the a prosperity which has been happening for so many years. Okay, rich cannot make everybody rich unless we also put our own efforts to into that direction. But poverty at any corner in the world can bring down the world countries to poverty. Okay, so that we won't invite, nobody wants to become poor, but world nations, if they don't take care of the poor countries or the underdeveloped countries or the underprivileged countries, one day it's going to spread like a wildfire, and it's going to gulp away the entire prosperity on the world nations. Okay, so that's why, because it's nothing but poverty is a vicious circle, girls. We need to understand that we should not allow it to spread. Okay, goodness has to spread, prosperity has to spread, and also we need to understand, even in the entire body, if we have a small pain in a small corner of our little finger or a little toe, okay, we are not, nobody can say you are happy with your entire body, why are you bothered about this itself is going to be a big quest botheration, yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, same way, even poverty will destroy the world countries. That's why it is very important for us to see that we address this problem on the international level. That's why international business prosperity is going to enable remove poverty in the entire world nations. Okay, okay, girls. See you in tomorrow's class, and in tomorrow we will continue with the IMF, the other rest of the topics which are left in the IMS. Okay, thank you, girls. I've taken the attendance also. Bye bye for today.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye, girls.